80 million Americans got their stimulus checks last week, and many more millions are going to get it over the next few weeks. Now, MeetKevin had a great video where he talks about how to become a millionaire if we have the $2,000 a month stimulus package passed. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna one-up him and talk about how you can become a millionaire just from the stimulus that we already got and what it takes to become a millionaire from that. So the first thing that you need to do to become a millionaire is to hit the like button, because it really does help out the YouTube channel and it helps push this video to more people, and it really helps me out, so I appreciate that. So first of all, I just want to say, for anyone that does really need the money for food or for rent, that is the priority. The money isn't necessarily supposed to be spent for investing or paying off debt or progressing other side gigs or anything like that. But first of all, you should use it on the necessities so that everyone around you, your family, has what they need. But we're gonna go into depth on what it takes to become a millionaire. So watch through to the end to see the full scope on how quickly you can become a millionaire based on a couple different factors. And this video isn't meant to discourage anyone that might be a little bit older or someone that makes less money than what I talk about. This is all kind of arbitrary numbers, so you can put in your own situation how much you can earn, how much your wife or husband earns, and make this really your own, but it's more the thought that's important. So what I think is really significant is this $1,200, if you're still working, might be one of the first times that you've really been able to get ahead and grow a gap between what you spend and what you earn. So a lot of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. They don't really have money to invest in themselves, right? And that's the greatest return. So you can invest money in the stock market or in rental or real estate, but that doesn't make nearly as great a return as, learning a new skill, a new hobby that you can monetize, going to college, stuff like that. So that is the best use of your money a lot of the time. And $1,200 is a good amount to put towards that depending on what you're talking about. So what I'm thinking is more, if you can get a side gig, let's say, like you buy a camera for $600, you take a class for another couple $100, and then you buy some programs for accounting or something like that, you can make that $1,200 into multiple thousands of dollars. So photographers get paid pretty well generally per hour. If you can work a couple hours a week doing that, you can make a lot of money over the year. Now, you don't have to just do photography. You could start a blog. It takes maybe $50 or $100 to secure a domain and set it up for the year, depending on who you use. And you might be able to get out some creative content that way. You could start a YouTube channel. The only thing that I've bought is this stick that holds the camera that has the light on it. And that was $50, and I used a gift card for it. So not a big investment there. Most of the time it's just your time that you're investing more than actual capital, but then you don't have to feel guilty about investing that capital to get that return. Another thing you could do is become a personal trainer. So you could get licensed in that. If you're someone that already likes athletics and knows a lot about it, you can do that. I'm a trainer, I get paid to do that, so that's been a great way for me to make extra money. Another thing you can do is get bank account bonuses. Not the most glamorous thing, but it's about the easiest way to make $200 that you can think of. I have tons of videos on bank account bonuses. Just go up to the search bar in my channel and take a look. I'm going to make about $1,700 from some business account bonuses that I have started, and that's just over the next 2 months. I'm going to make a lot more money from personal bonuses, and those require a lot less money to start, but some banks will give you $200 for putting $500 in a checking account for a couple months. So that's a great way to make money there. That's not scalable, which is important, I think, but it's a really easy way to do it. So you can turn the $1,200 into maybe $2,000 by the end of the year if you have something that's a little bit more expensive that you want to invest in. You could flip cars also. You could buy some junkers. If you can buy a junk car for $1,200 and then sell it for $2,000, that's a great way to make money too. So there are a lot of different ways to go about this. Maybe you're talking about a side gig, or maybe you're talking about getting certified or taking a couple extra classes to make money. There are a whole lot of different options, and I really believe that anyone can make more money doing a side gig, a little company that they make, and anyone has the capability to do that. Everyone wants to have that financial freedom to become a millionaire, to do what they want, when they want, how they want, and that's really the goal of almost everyone that works, right? So how many people actually go to their job and love what they do and would do it if they didn't get paid? Probably not too many. So being able to have the freedom to do what you want, whether it's stay at home with your kids or go on a boat, go golfing, is what so many people want. So I'm going to walk you through a couple different scenarios on how you could become a millionaire, how long it would take, and how much you'd have to invest. So in this first scenario, you're at a job that pays decent, depending on who you are. Let's say $36,000 a year, so about $17.50 an hour. So you figure out a way to make an extra $1,000 a year in a side gig doing something else, or maybe you just make $1,000 more at your work. But you have a job that pays you $36,000, and you can invest a little bit, but not that much. So you decide to invest about 4% of that $36,000. And we're gonna say you don't make any more over the next 35 years. We're not gonna account for inflation or anything like that, but you get a rate of return of about 10%. And after 35 years, after putting in 4%, and let's say you get a 4% match, and you put in that $1,000 from your side gig, you would be a millionaire. So you'd have over $1,056,000. And these jobs aren't super hard to find. You could become a banker, and not even be a really good banker or anything like that. But you could become a banker, you could work in construction or roofing, you could become a store manager, a truck driver, you could work in sales. There are tons of jobs in America that pay about $36,000 a year because it's right below the median salary for an American. So that's the first way to become a millionaire. It's the slow and steady pace that wins the race in this one. It doesn't require a lot of income. It just requires you to save a little bit each year, and we're talking about only saving 4% of your income, so that's a little bit over $1,000. It's about $1,500 from that main job and then $1,000 from the side income, and then getting a match. The second way we're gonna go through is, let's say you could make an extra $2,600 a year from your side gig, and that might be really intimidating at first, but after you get into it, it's really not that much money. It's about $50 a week. So if you could just work for 2 hours and make $25 an hour, it's hard to do that at first, but then it becomes much easier, especially as your client base grows for whatever you're doing. We're gonna say you make an extra $2,600 that you can invest, and then in your main job, we're gonna say you get paid about $50,000 a year. So from then, you're going to invest about 10%, and you're still gonna get that 4% match from before that we talked about. So now, really you're investing 14% of your income, only 10% is coming from you though, and then you're investing that $2,600. So overall, you're investing just under $10,000 a year actually, so it's starting to become more significant. It's $9,600 a year. You would become a millionaire in just 26 years, and you would have $1,048,000. In all these scenarios, if you wanted to build that up to 1.5 to 2 million, you can just tack on a short number of years after you hit 1 million, and usually you get to that next spot because at that point you are making more from the interest each year and your investments building up than you are from actually investing your own money into this account. Jobs that could make this amount of money are still bankers. You could still make $50,000 a year as a banker. Maybe you're a dental hygienist, maybe you're a store manager, a personal trainer, an event planner, a flight attendant. All these types of jobs still make $50,000 a year. It's a little bit harder to come by than the $36,000, but usually in those $36,000 a year job, if you get better at your job and stay around for a while, you can probably make $50,000 a lot of the time, especially if it's something where you actually bring in money to the company. If you can bring them more money, they will most likely pay you more money. So there's the second scenario. So first scenario, 35 years. Second scenario, 26 years. Third scenario, we're gonna say you can make an extra $100 a week. So still not a ton of money. Let's say you get a little bit better at your side gig, you get paid $33 an hour. You work 3 hours, right? So you make an extra $100 a week. Let's say you can make $70,000 a year at your job. So this might be, you move up the ranks, you get promoted to some manager, you make $70,000, and let's say you can invest 20% of what you make. And then you're still getting that 4% return. So after that, if you invest the side gig income, the 20% of your main job income, and you get a match, you can become a millionaire in just 18 years. So this is assuming you start with $0. And then after that, you're going to have over $1 million that keeps on building on itself. So if you wanted to work a couple more years, you'd have even more, like I said before. Some jobs that make $70,000 a year: detectives, pilots, air traffic controllers, power plant operators, data analysts, people in sales, managers, again, like I said before. Now, there are a lot of different ways to make $70,000 a year, and I think almost everyone, if they want to and can put in the time and put in the effort, can make that $70,000 a year. All these numbers include some assumptions, so please don't yell at me too much. I put in 10% rate of return, which is pretty standard among investing in index funds. I didn't account for inflation just because, you know, if you do get paid an extra 2% a year or something like that, just an annual raise, that pretty much takes care of inflation if you throw some of that towards the investments. So I think that most of these assumptions are really fair. What I want to get across though is, with this stimulus check, a lot of people can use this to get ahead. Instead of investing in a new gaming console or a new computer or a new pair of shoes, spend this money on something that will make you a better earner, a better person, just something that will expand yourself instead of just buying an item that you want. You can use this to really propel yourself forward, and it can be worth a lot more than the initial $1,200. So they're talking about giving us $2,000 a month. But if you use this wisely, you can make more than $2,000 a month extra from this money if you spend it in the right way. You could create a lifetime of wealth, and especially you can do that if you combine it with a little elbow grease. So that's the message I want to leave you with. Think about how you can use this to really help yourself out, help out those around you by becoming financially independent, becoming a millionaire, gaining a new skill or a new ability to perform a skill that you didn't have before. But I'm curious what you guys are going to use your stimulus for. Please put it in the description below. I'm gonna use mine to save up for a home, but that's still months, if not a year away. So it's gonna be a while before I can really spend it how I want. But tell me what you guys are doing. Please, again, like the video. It really does help. And if you feel like this was valuable information, share it to someone else. And I appreciate that. I will see you in the next video. Bye.